Goeiemorgen, good morning, guten Morgen, konnichiwa, krotso. Well, it must be morning somewhere in the world now. Since Tanuki will be around soon, I've decided that this is a good time to talk about gifts and pranks. In this video, it will be a bit longer, I think, than a normal tip video, since we will talk about what are the gifts and pranks, where can you find them, how do you use them, and then a word about the special ones. First of all, what are the gifts and pranks? As the name implies, gifts are good and pranks are bad. But, well, there's a strategy where pranks, at least some of them, can be good. But that's a topic for another day. So the gifts is not for your own benefit on your own farm. Yes, indirectly it can benefit you, but directly it is for you to help other people on their farms. Mostly it is used within the co-op, especially at the time of a co-op event. For example, during a village fair, if you have, say, cherries that you need to complete for a challenge, then increasing the yield on everybody's cherries will be really helpful to make the quota that you need. It can also benefit your co-op members in personal events, maybe one of the themed events or the personal silo or so on. And then you do not have to use it within your co-op. You can also use it for other players that are in other co-ops or not in a co-op at all, as long as they are still on your server. If you are on the international server, you cannot place a gift on anybody's farm from another server. Next topic. Where do you find them? Well, where do you find them kind of has two answers. There is where can you see them and how do you receive them. So where can you see them? If you go down in history to the inventory, there is a special tab for gifts and pranks. In this tab, at the same time, you can see both the pranks, which has a red-orange kind of border around them, and then the gifts with a blue-green border around them. And in there you can see how many you have of each. And if you have, there are some gifts I know of that I do not have any, and also some pranks that I do not have any examples of. So we will look at them from someone else's farm. And then where do you get them in terms of how do they get into your inventory? There are a number of ways in which that can be. You get them as a reward in certain events. For example, in the Worldwide Championship, the brush is one of the rewards that is used on stables. Then there are some rakes as reward. And then I also saw earlier on... Faster. Did I miss it now? No, there you can have some charms, which are also gifts, as a reward all during the Worldwide Championship. The second place that you can get the gifts as rewards is in the cooperative Wheel of Fortune. In the co-op wheel, you can get brushes or rakes as one of the prizes, if you happen to get them. As far as I remember, you can also get them from Shinke in the school, but since it's not school now, I cannot show you. In the school it depends on which set of gifts you selected, and I am 70% sure that you can find gifts there as well. You cannot buy them for apples and you cannot buy them for any of the other kind of currencies, but there is a special tab once again just for gifts and pranks where you can buy them either with gold or a specific selection of them. Small charms, big lucky charms and ghost rods can be bought with karma points. As you can see, there you have different points and it shows how many karma points you have at the moment. Now the karma points you can get in the mystery boxes, specifically in the gold theme box, which has all the currencies. One of the currencies possible is karma points, and then you also get karma points every time another player has placed either a gift or a prank on your farm. So in summary, you can get them as rewards, you can get them in the co-op wheel, and you can buy them in the trade center from the gift trader. So how do you use them? If you want to use one of the gifts or one of the pranks, you should go to the player that you want to gift. When you're on their farm, Then you select the building that you would like to gift, and you select the gift that you would like to apply. So if we would like to use a rake, since the rake is a soil gift, it can only be used on the fields of the main farm, the gardens of the gourmet farm, or the meadows of the flower farm. After you applied the gift, you can see it's kind of shiny. So shiny. The brushes are only to be used on the stables. Once again, you can see it's shiny. Both the rakes and the brushes give a really good increase. They increase the yield for the player that receives them by 50%. So whatever the harvest for this colossal cow was, it will now be 50% more. Whatever the harvest for this field will be, it will now be 50% more. I don't know what it is yet, so hopefully the player will use it wisely. The rakes, as I said, can only be used on soil buildings, and the brushes can only be used on animal buildings. The ghost rods are only to be used on boats. We will go there just now. And then you have small lucky charms as well as big lucky charms. The big lucky charms increase the yield by 25%, and the small lucky charms increase the yield by 15%. These can be used on just about any building. You can use a charm on a field. You can use the charms on orchards. You can use the charms on pigs. You can use the charms on production buildings like the silo. And everywhere where you can use the small lucky charm, you can also use the big lucky charm. On the silo, just to show you. Also on the beach gardens, you cannot use the rake on the orchards or the stables or the production building, for example. Only the soil building, in this case beach gardens, will be accessible to click on when you've selected the rake. Same when you use the brush, it can only be used on one of the stables, not on any of the others. But the lucky charms, big or small, can be used on any building, including the jam factories, as you can see. And then the same on the flower farm. They can rakes for the soil. You can also use the charms on the soil, only they give a smaller yield. And brushes can only be used on the stables. On the flower farm, the only stable is the beehives, apiaries, that's what they're called. And the orchards, you only have a choice between small lucky charms and big lucky charms. Same for the production buildings. And then lastly, in the deep sea boats, you cannot use the lucky charms. See, I can't click on anything here because it's not the correct gift. Ghost rods are the only gifts available for use on the deep sea fishing boats. The other thing that I have not mentioned yet, let's see if we can show that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we try to add another gift, you'll see you can't. There is a maximum of 10 gifts per farm. And by farm, they mean specific farm, not player. So you can have 10 gifts on the main farm, 10 on the gourmet farm, 10 on the flower farm, and 10 in the deep sea fishing for the same player. And by the way, those are the only 4 farms that can receive gifts or pranks. Giving somebody pranks, sorry, work in exactly the same way. You go to the pranks tab, select the prank that you would like to use. And oh yes, those can only be used on production buildings. So if you look here, these pranks impact the yield and can be used on just about any buildings. There's also a small prank that decreases the harvest, whereas the sabotage, which will make the player have to wait 25 minutes before they can harvest the building. As you can see, you cannot place that on anything other than the windmills, the silo, but the silo already has a gift on, so we can't do it there, or the composter. Where's the composter? Can't see the composter. Where's the composter? Where's the composter? Oh, for goodness sake. There's the composter. So, as you can see, the gifts are shiny. The prank gives off a bad odor. Very hard to see, but it's, yeah, because there's other buildings in the way. In summary, rakes for soil, brushes for stables. Charms can be used on main farm, gourmet farm, or flower farm, on soil, stable, orchards, or production buildings. And the ghost rods can only be used in the deep sea fishing area. Maximum of 10 gifts per farm. All the gifts impact the yield. They increase the yield that the other player will get. Pranks can either impact the yield or have a time duration. Okay, now let's go see. This is what your farm looks like when someone has given you a gift or a prank. As you can see, there's the gift. Candy chicken level 9 has 151 eggs, but the one that is gifted with a small lucky charm increased the yield to 164. And here you can also see when a player has played a prank on you and you try to harvest it, you have to click this and the countdown timer will appear and you have to wait 15 minutes until you can actually harvest that building. In this case, it's only a chicken, so it doesn't really matter, but it can be extremely annoying if it's something that you actually need. Which brings me to the other source of karma points. When anyone else has given you gifts on your farm or pranks, pranks can also give you karma points. You see, not only do you get the normal yield, but you also get 1 karma point for every gift that was on your farm when you harvested that building. From that chicken I would have received 1 karma point, from that one I would receive 1 karma point, and from that one I still will receive 1 karma point, which gives me 3 karma points, and with 3 karma points I can only buy 1 small lucky charm back. So it is important that you don't always give gifts, but that people also give you some gifts back. Otherwise, in short time, you will run out of karma points and will not be able to buy more. Of course, you can always get more from the co-op wheel or earn some in rewards, but yeah. Then lastly, the special ones. If you look in the inventory, under the gifts and pranks, you will see that there's a Tanuki prank and a Leprechaun prank. I do not have Leprechaun or Tanuki gifts. I will show you some from someone else's farm just in a moment. But here on my farm you can see that the Tanuki prank or the Leprechaun prank will decrease the harvest for someone else by 50% if I should use this prank on their buildings. And with Tanuki coming around soon, it's good to know what a Tanuki prank or a Tanuki gift is all about. And those are what I would call the special ones. So let's go have a look at it on another farm where someone actually has a Tanuki. Was it a Leprechaun gift? I don't know, can't remember. Let's go see. I'm now on someone else's farm who has kindly allowed me to show you in the inventory that even though a Tanuki prank will decrease the harvest of whatever it has been used on by 50%, a Tanuki gift will increase the harvest with 100%. And so, in summary, tip of the week. You have gifts, so use them wisely. You can get the gifts from the co-op wheel, you can earn them during certain events, buy them for karma points, which you get also as rewards or whenever you harvest a building that was gifted or pranked by a fellow player. And until next time, have fun farming. Hey, remember to watch out for Tanuki soon.